I'm a student of the Confucian tradition. I spent a great deal of time studying Chinese philosophy and Chinese history and compared that with the European Renaissance. I think what you were referencing in terms of China's view of people's democracy, that you have to look for the care of the population. That's the fundamental first principle of a so-called democracy. Congress passed a law banning the collaboration of our space program, our NASA, with China. And this is like shooting yourself in the foot. The idea that we would not collaborate and benefit from China's advance was an insane policy, which did no disservice to China. China went ahead and developed one of the best space programs in the world. They were the first to land on the far side of the moon. Then there was the chips war, which we've gone through for the last year or so, where they not only banned buying Chinese chips or selling US chips to China, but then they also imposed sanctions on Japan and Korea if they sold their chips to China. What did China do in this? They built a better chip so that they weren't dependent upon the chips from the US or Korea. This is the way China functions. In terms of the whole COVID ploy, the particular irony of this effort to blame China for the COVID pandemic is that President Trump, in his first term, I'm sure you remember, invited Xi Jinping to Mar-a-Lago. He then went to Beijing. He was entertained by Xi Jinping personally. He was taken to the Forbidden City and given a all-day lecture on Chinese history and technology and philosophy, and came back praising Xi Jinping personally and praising China as a great nation. He was completely committed to cooperation with China. And the only way that the neoconservative anti-China mob, the pro-war team, who unfortunately were in and around his administration, the only way they convinced him to go against China was by swearing to him that the American people would blame him for the COVID pandemic unless he had somebody else to blame, and that he had to blame it on China. Unfortunately, he gave into that and went into this anti-China stuff, including the trade and so forth.